Welcome back to Bright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this full circle pant with side pockets and a zipper at the side. I'll be sharing with you some tips and tricks to sewing a very beautiful palazzo pant like this with zipper on the side and two side pockets as well. These are my pockets and this is the side zip. So you can see how it lays right there while we still have our pocket in there as well. If this is what you want to learn in this class, I'll encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn how this beautiful palazzo pant with waistband is made. Thank you. My fabric is crepe and I use 3.5 yards of crepe fabric. So whatever fabric you are working with, it has to be by length of 60 inches and it has to be 3 yards to achieve this flayed pant. This is my 3.5 yards of crepe fabric and this is the 60 inches length. The first step is to put the 3.5 yards together like this. Here I've put the 3.5 yards into two like this. You can see it's unfold like this. That is the 3.5 yards. After placing it on fold, come over to this other folded end. You are going to pick it up from there and make a triangle like this. After creating the triangle, because this fabric crepe can wobble a lot, you can just cut out any excess that you have right there. Okay, so if you have an excess, provided the other end is at the other end, just trim it off. So it's supposed to form a right angle triangle like this. The next step is to go over to the other edge of the triangle. You are going to mark 4 inches. So wherever your 4 inches starts on that point, just keep marking 4 inches. I'll mark it all the way down. After marking the 4 inches, I'm going to rule the line. The 4 inches line, I'll rule it all the way from the tip of the triangle downwards like this. From the edge of this triangle, you are going to mark your radius. My radius is my waist circumference plus 2 inches for side seams. Then you divide it by 3.14. I got 12 inches. So I'm marking 12 inches from the tip of my triangle to wherever the radius falls. So 12 inches is the radius. I marked it there. After marking out your radius, next is the crotch depth. For the crotch depth, I'm going to place my tape right on the radius using my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. From that point, you are going to mark a perpendicular line like this. Next, from that point, you are also going to go up by 4 inches for the crotch curve. And you come in diagonally by 1.5 inches. So you are going to connect the 4 inches to that 1.5 inches and connect it back to the crotch line. After connecting the crotch curve, next we are going to take the length of this pant. For the length of your pants, I am going to place my tape 2 inches above or that radius line, 2 inches, and I'm going to mark the length of my pants. I actually used the whole length of this fabric. So at that whole length of that fabric, I got 45 inches. From the 2 inches I placed on top of my radius, I got 45 inches. So I kept marking 45 inches all the way down. After marking out the length, I went ahead to cut out the flay part of it like this. So the down part of it that formed the flay is cut, as you can see right here. Here I am going to take it off. Then we are going to cut the radius. Here I am cutting off the radius. So once you cut out the radius, you are going to cut it into the crotch line like this. So you just follow the curve and cut it out this way. Once I'm done cutting it out, this is it. I'll take it off too. Here you can see what it looks like right here. So I'm taking off the cut out. Next is to cut out the folded parts of that pants. Just cut it out all the way down. After cutting it out, we are going to separate the front and the back. So I lifted two pieces of it up and I'm going to mark 1 inch downwards. So I'll mark 1 inch on the front pants. I use my straight rule to highlight it before I cut. Next is to cut out the 1 inch. I'll cut it off because the front trouser is supposed to be shorter than the back crotch. Next, you are going to come up to the waistline for the front trouser. You know the back trouser is usually higher than the front. So you make a notch at the side of the trouser, then come down at the center front by 1 inch. We are going to make a slant from that 1 inch into the side like this. This will make the back trouser to be a little bit higher than the front trouser as usual. After that, next we are going to cut the folded part of this pants. This is me cutting the side, okay, which is the folded part of this trouser, because we are going to add a pocket. So you just go ahead and cut it out all the way down. Here I am cutting it all the way down. After cutting out the trouser sides, I went ahead to take off my pins. So you can see what I have right here. So I'm going to separate the back from the front. Here is the front piece. I'm going to add a pocket to the front piece. On the side of this pocket, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches. You mark 1.5 inches, and the length of this pocket I marked 6.5. Now we are going to connect this with a curve. This is me connecting it with a curve as shown. Next, I'm going to cut it out. Here I am going to cut the pocket out. So I'll cut it from the 1.5 inches all the way to the 6.5 inches like this. Next, I'll go ahead to stitch the crotch line for the front. So I'm going to put them right side to right side. I'm going to stitch with 1/2 inch. Once I'm done stitching with 1/2 inch, then we can now sew the pocket. Here I'm done sewing the front crotch with 1/2 inch. This is what it looks like after I'm done sewing. Next is to sew the pockets. Already cut out my pocket. I have 4 pieces of it right here. The length of this pocket measures 11 inches while the width measures 9 inches. I'll pick only 2 pieces of this pocket for the front pocket. I'll set the other 2 aside. For these 2 pieces right here, we are going to place it this way. This is 2 pieces for the front pocket. So you are going to place the curved part of this pocket. This is how you are going to align it. You have to make sure you align the sides this way and align the tip this way. Remember, this is a curve. The waistline is a curve. So you align it this way and secure with your pin. Next, you are going to cut it off as shown. I'll go ahead and cut the way you see me do right here. I'll just cut it into the pocket and cut it to the side like this. After cutting it out, we are going to take off the pins right away and bring out the pocket. So you can see how the pocket looks like. Next, you are going to place the pocket right side to the trouser pocket. So I'll place it right side to right side. Make sure the curves are matching, then you secure with your pins. Next, I'll take it to the sewing machine right now and stitch it in. After stitching, next is to make notches on that pocket like this. Then you are going to flip all your seams to the side of the pocket piece and top stitch so it relaxes nice and flat. This is what I got after I'm done top stitching. I went ahead to give it a good press also. Next, we are going to turn the back piece of the front trouser so we'll be able to place the remaining other part of the pocket. So you are going to place the pocket at the edge like this. So you have to make sure the down part of the squared part of this trouser matches accordingly, of the pocket matches accordingly. So you can see how it is. You match it up this way. After matching the pocket, the first you are going to do is to come over to the side and secure the pocket with a pin to the pants. Then you begin to lift up the pocket like this. You lift it up and secure with your pins all around. Then make sure you secure the waistline too with a pin like this. Then we'll go over to the machine to stitch. Before we go ahead to the machine to stitch, this is what it looks like. So I'm done matching every part of this pocket the way it should be, both right and left. So let's go and stitch it. Here on the machine, this is the pocket. So the first thing we are going to do is to pick up the lifted part of the pocket and we are going to stitch all the way down. So I'll go ahead and stitch 1/2 inch all the way down. Once I get to the end, I'll raise my presser foot to stitch the other end. I am going to stitch the other end to all the way to the end of it like this. After stitching the pocket itself, then I'll go over to the sides and the waistline to stitch them together. So here on the waistline, this is how the pocket is laying. You can see the part I stitch right now. So I'll just stitch the side with 1/2 inch. I'll stitch it all the way to where the pocket started like this. Next, I will also pick it up to the waistline and I'm going to stitch 1/2 inch on the waistline together with the pocket as well. After you are done sewing, this is exactly how it's going to look like. So if you notice on the cuff area, you see some of the pocket parts are coming out. You just go ahead and trim it off the way you see me trim off right now, so the waistline aligns appropriately. The front pocket is ready right now. I'm going to put the trouser together so we'll be able to trim off the excess we have on the pocket. It needs to align with the waist line. Next, I am going to bring the back trouser as shown. You are going to align the back trouser with the front crotch like this. Make sure you arrange it including the waistline very well, because we are going to use the waistline of the back trouser to trim off the excess we have on the pocket. After we are done aligning it, this is the excess we have on the front pocket. So I'll just go ahead and cut it off as you can see. Now, if I open up the front trouser, you are going to see that the pocket still has the 1.5 inches that we marked earlier. Can you see that? So the next thing we are going to do is to put the front and back trouser together. I'll quickly pick up the back trouser piece and I'm going to lay it right side to the front trouser like this. Then we are going to sew 1/2 inch all the way down on this side, and then on this other side I'm going to, on the left side, that is where the zip is going to be. So I'll just sew the right side down, then on the left hand side, my own left hand side, which is your own right hand side, then you are going to measure your zip space. My zip space is just 9 inches, so I'll place my tape 2 inches above and mark 9 inches. I'll go over to the sewing machine right now. I'm going to stitch, but before that, try to make a notch on the side so you'll be able to stitch and leave your zip space. I'll go ahead and stitch half an inch down from the zipper space. After stitching down, this is what I got right here, and the next is to put the crotch together and stitch down. Here the crotch is ready and the sides are ready. The next is to sew the waistband. Just go ahead and take the measurement around your waistline like this. You are going to take it all the way to the end. Whatever measurement you get, just go ahead and add 2 inches to it. Here, I've already cut out my band. My band width measures 5 inches. The length of my band is what I got from my measurement on the waistline plus 2 inches. Now I joined my band, as you can see. So at that joining, place it wrong side to right side of the band, wrong side of the band to right side of the band. Then we are going to stitch it in. After stitching, this is what you are going to have. I actually stitched from that side to the zipper line. This is what I got right here. So you can see the excess on the band, and I folded in my band, if you remember, half an inch, so top stitching will be easy. So at that point of that joining, I'm going to secure with my pin. So make sure the joining on the band matches with the joining on the side of the pant. So I kept pinning it this way all the way down. Here I've gotten to the zipper line, and here is my excess. So I'll go over to the machine right now and top stitch. After top stitching, I gave it a good press. You can see what I have here, looking so beautiful. Next is to cut out the excess. After cutting out the excess, I'll go ahead and sew in my zip. Here on the machine, I'm using an invisible zip. This is what it looks like. So your invisible zip is supposed to match with your pant, but I did not get the color, so I decided to use this. I'll open up my invisible zip and I'm going to place it the way it should be at the edge, folding that top this way. I'll place my presser foot. I want to show you how to sew an invisible zip. An invisible zip is better sewn for this trouser, so you don't even notice the zip on the side. I'll keep opening it up the way you see me do right there, all the way down. Once I get to the down, I will also sew my invisible zip on the other side too. So here you can see me opening the zipper, okay? That is how to sew an invisible zip. So I'm going to place it on top of the pocket like this. I'm sewing in half an inch. Make sure it's half an inch you are sewing. I've gotten to the end of it right now. This is what my zipper looks like. So you can see the invisible zip with the pocket on the side. This looks very, very beautiful, right? Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.